August, he had a surgery done because he had a bleeding on the brain.
Ooh.
When he had the surgery, he became brain dead. And he was like, it wasn't kind of a coma. It was more like he was brain dead. He wasn't responding. Nothing was coming from him. The doctors told the family that they would give him 30 days to turn the machine off, because usually people who go through that kind of surgery and become brain dead, they didn't normally come back from it. So they were, the doctors anticipated he wouldn't get through it. But if he passes 30 days, they would turn the machine off. He came back from it within 21 to 25 days. And so they didn't turn the machine off. They kept him on until they took him off the machine.
Sure. Affinity Xtra. Be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Xtra.
Okay, people, this is your boy here, Roger Moore, and Affinity Xtra, celebrating gospel music of black origin. And this is how we do it. This is myself on the Edge Show. And I've got an Edge special today. I've got a special guest from our town logging in to really educate us, help us educate ourselves on an artist that has transformed a sound. You know what I'm saying? From when he was in church and when he wasn't in church as well. So, and also got somebody who you recognize who, you can beat him up, guys, and say, where has he been? And and that's my bro, Rico. And I believe the last time we did speak in this room, we spoke about sound culture and you know what I'm saying, and we spoke about the history of Shekinah sound system and what the culture was like in the 90s, really setting up the culture. And you mentioned two men who came from who got saved, who transformed things in the, I would say, early 2000s was Stitchy and Papa San. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to be educated, guys, because I'm a bit younger than and so I was more influenced into rap, as people all know. As much as I love my ragamuffin hip hop and dancehall baptism 1, 2, 3 and all the scroll stuff and everything like that. But at the same time, but I am of Caribbean descent. You know what I mean? My dad's from Jamaica, and 100% when you hear a tune, you hear a tune. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's how we call it. It's not a tune, it's a tune. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to learn, because I do feel that we've heard some not negative, you know. Stitchy was sick, had a stroke and he was sick, and then now we're going to be doing some fundraising for him. And so it's important that, you know, for me, I don't want it to be just you know what I mean? What's this about? What's this for? We're here to educate you. Why? So you're here to teach me, why should I invest into come out for whatever you know. So I think it's important because you are having a generation now that's more and more coming away from the foundational sound of dancehall. I'm saying we're not educated in that still. Everything is about Afro fusion, and young people don't know where the foundation is. You know what I'm saying? Before Afro was even a thing, you know what I'm saying? It was Bob Marley with the reggae sound transforming the world, going to Africa. And bringing the African sound back to Africa almost. You know what I'm saying? In a popular format. You know what I mean? So, but nobody wants to talk about that. I just want to talk about Burna Boy and like he invented the thing. But anyway, that's not where we're going, people. That's not where we're going. So, I am alongside Rico and also
Grace.
This is Grace, you know what I'm saying? Sister Grace, who's going to help us.
I should agree with our presence.
My Grace, amen to that still. So I am, to be honest, guys, I am literally going to be almost doing a rugby throw over to Rico here still, because I'm going to rugby throw this and I'm going to almost go, yo, Rico, man.
Yo.
Lieutenant Stitchy, you know what I'm saying? Actually, before we go any further, Grace, just give us a background of where you're coming from. Because everybody knows, we've done enough videos on Rico. So anybody who doesn't know Sister Grace, who ever met Grace at all when it comes to the gospel music scene, explain to us your background in the scene, sis.
Okay. My Facebook, our social media name is Grace Elegance. Most people know me as Grace Elegance. And I actually do work as PR for most of the gospel artists in Jamaica coming here to the UK. I happen to manage Stitch's Stitch's business materials in terms of his promotional stuff and arranging his bookings, tours, and anything to do with his music in Jamaica. In England here. I also work for Goddy Goddy. I manage Goddy Goddy's affairs here in the UK, and this other artist, Prodigal Son. And I work with quite a number of artists in terms of doing managing their logistics with anything having to do with the UK. Of course, they've got their management that does things for them in Jamaica, but when it comes to the UK, I do most of the logistics for them.
So it's you that I have to call then.
Yeah. If you call and can't get them, and if you can get all of my number,
Okay, don't worry, we'll find. No, I have seen your name, Grace Elegance. When you say Grace Elegance like that, I've 100% seen your name. Definitely a lot actually, a lot more than what you probably think. And Prodigal Son, he was my favorite. He's my, but that first album, jeez, man, me God, man, my bad. Anyway, so I'll do the intro for the album straight from the top of my head. But okay, so you got a pitch, guys, about where we at now. So Rico, I've seen this flyer now,
right?
Yeah, that's Lieutenant Stitchy's Road to Recovery, and it's in my hometown in Birmingham.
That's
right.
7th
of November, 2025, 6 p.m. and it's got a lot of our favorites on there from over the time. I see Annette, I see Lighty straight away, I see Spanaky, I see Miller, I see, you know what I'm saying? So singing D, man, you know what I mean? I'm seeing a lot of guys that I'm going, wow, yo, 20 years ago, I'll be seeing them actually kind of side event, you know, which is real cool. Now, all right then. So I'm going, okay, right, but I'm not Lieutenant Stitchy. I remember his stuff, but talk to me, man. Talk to me. Let's go back to with Stitchy, because Stitchy's come to town. Yeah, he's come to Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? You know me. Between you and Grace, man, you guys are gonna educate me and take me through the journey of the impact of Lieutenant Stitchy. We have to pay homage to the body now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So Stitchy, I know talking to my friends back in the early 2000s who weren't Christians, they talked about this guy called Stitchy going to his events in the 90s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And whatsoever. So they go, yeah, man, it's Lieutenant Stitchy. You know what I'm saying? So I just know him from this album. I think it's a white cover or a silver cover. Yeah. And it was a couple of tunes there. And that was my introduction to him. Okay. So give us a bit of background on Stitchy and who he is and where is it coming from?
Yeah, Stitchy was the general. You know what I mean? One of the real general them for Jamaica dancehall music, you get me?
Okay.
He was he had a style that he had a tongue that could spit bars fast, which wasn't really known in Jamaica, because Jamaica kind of more cool and deadly. You get me?
Yeah.
So when him come with this, and it was very clear as well. So him and San used to clash enough, because San didn't have the same ability to fast DJing.
Okay.
So when them two clash at dance, a big dancer keeper Jamaica, really. Yeah. But with Stitchy, as a dancehall, he brought the flavor of it was more like a comedian. Cause when you listen to even the tune, "Girl, Wear Your Size," if I talk about the girl them who go and dance now, dress up, ready for go out, but them probably have a size 8 foot, but them a try squeezing a size 6 shoes, and you can see them are coming at the dance and them foot above them, and so he would take that and turn it into a lyric. You get me? Which was a big tune, one of the biggest really. But it really bossed him, that did. And then him do another one about the dreadlocks. You get me? I mean, that was just so funny. Yeah, I talk about the dread. I said the might tell stings and the Babylon come though, ask him why I'm a deal with, and him to him now answer the police properly. Yeah. The police want to arrest him, and then him end up in a jail and I get beaten. Absolute hilarious. He had that ability, that's Stitchy. You know, who knows Stitchy knows. So Stitchy was lyrical, but he was also funny with it. You get me? So when he came through the dancehall thing now, he got saved in that, which was a big shock, be honest with you. It was big news. It weren't small. It was a big thing. Because everybody said, yo, the general got a church. And, you see what I
So explain this to me, Grace. I would, you know, when back in, I believe it was the 90s now, when Stitchy was on there, was Stitchy an artist that you used to follow yourself?
Yes, I remember back in the day, Stitchy and Papa San, they used to run dancehall. They used to go from one dancehall to the next. And I was in my late teens, 20s. And so, I was in my late 20s, not teens. And I remember when we used to have these sound systems, Terragraph, Stone Love, and all of these sound systems, they used to play in different eras. So Papa San and Stitchy would be, even if it's Montego Bay, they would pass through a dance. I remember I was living in Portmore, and there was a lawn called Massa Lawn, and we would hear that Stitchy is going to pass through, but they don't really hang on there for the whole night. They would just pass through. So you find that Stitchy would be coming from a dance in Spanish Town, and he would come to Massa Lawn in Portmore, and he would do his little thing. They'd maybe do about half an hour on the mic. And then by the time they finish, they're gone again, because it could be Stereograph doing this, then it could be Stone Love in Town, and it could be, I can't remember the name of the song, but they would go the whole night, they would be traveling around just doing, so they would do maybe 5 or 4 systems for the night. And everybody would be, some people trail them. It depends on which dance is full and which dance is empty. But when you hear that Stitchy and Papa San is gonna pass through, that's it.
Black.
And they just DJ on the mic. They just DJ on the mic and they go. Them days, I didn't know about stage shows. Stage show was not as prevalent as now. For what I know, they used to go from dance to dance, that's DJing on the mic and all of that.
That's right.
And I remember it wasn't just Stitchy. It was Stitchy, Papa San. I remember Michigan and Smiley. I remember there are some guys, some of them guys, when I saw Little John, I saw Little John the other day, and Little John was one of them, but he was such a Little John that these guys were like traffic, just running from one dance to the next. So if Little John is here, Papa San over there, so then Little John leave here, so him gone over there, so then Stitchy come, and then Papa San come, gone. It was just like that.
Wow,
and yeah, it was just like that. And then in the late, I think it was in the late, all of this was in the late 80s, 90s. 90s, yeah. And then they started going to, the stage shows become more popular. And then they started going on tours and all of that. But I left the dancehall in the early 90s, to be honest.
Okay.
Mid 90s, I left the dancehall and then came into the church.
Amen. So guys, so that sounds like Stitchy kind of really came over in the late 90s, was he?
He came over late 90s. I left him there. Yeah, I left him there. I stopped running around with them, chasing after, and then the Buju and the other ones took over. When I left the church, the Buju and the Beanie Man and them they took over. Yeah.
Is that like Sizzler and stuff?
Them come after.
Yeah, they come after. Yeah. Okay, right.
They come after, yeah.
And stuff like no, that's and
Stitchy and Papa San, Stitchy, Papa San, and Michigan and Smiley, and I think Little John. They were the original ones, yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of weird then, looking at it from a context. That's like, from a hip hop standpoint, that's almost like LL Cool J and Biggie getting saved and coming over to do rap. You know what I'm saying? If you really look at it like that, you know what I mean? Because if they're one of the top 5,
icons.
You know what I'm saying? Icons, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't seen nothing like that happening in rap, you know what I mean?
No.
So that to happen in dancehall.
Yeah. But honestly though, Roger, the dancehall though was always a God-fearing environment. Them time there. Especially them time there. Because enough of the tune them what the man them was singing, although them were ras, they were biblical, like lyrical. You understand me? So it weren't really.
It wasn't like the hip hop.
It weren't. I wouldn't have thought it was too hard really, because Jamaica, them time, there was a very Christian-based country anyway. You get me? For a little island, it have so much church, probably more church and house. You understand me? So,
Did you
Yeah.
give me a
you know what I mean?
black
Even though the man at the dance, they would have grew up in a church. They would have grandmothers and mothers that in at the church.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it weren't as strange.
Yeah.
No.
That's real important because, like I said, just to look at the icon element of Stitchy. This is what I didn't. Sorry, Grace, I didn't want to just do an interview and just talk about this now situation. We have to look at the context of what this guy has done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we have to educate people what this guy is coming from, so people can go, wow, like, yo, this guy. He came to Christ, you know, he walked away. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody goes and gassed about Buju and all these guys now and they're doing big podcasts right now. But Stitchy and San walked away, you know what I mean, from this big life of being icons, people running away for God. Yeah. And it really testimony of how powerful, they walked away from that. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's not the easy thing, you know. Especially when you're on top of your game. It's not like them leave when nothing now go on for them, you know. They left in the height of their
they left
career.
in the middle.
You get me? Yeah. So not like said nothing now go on and say, boy, I go try church. Nah. The man that came when they was up there still, you know, still as an icon in Jamaica. So that's why it was a big news, because it was a shock.
Okay, cool. So Grace, you sound like obviously you're talking like you was living in Jamaica in the 90s, yeah? And whatsoever. So when did you come over to the UK before Stitchy got saved, or you came over or you was already still in Jamaica at that time when sound
I came here before he got saved.
Okay. So okay, cool. So you know when you over here and you hear about the likes of Stitchy and Sand, you're Christian now over here. How did you now want to plug into dancehall culture now? You know, when you get saved, it's called you can't play. You know, in our Caribbean churches at the time, they were still struggling with reggae. Yeah. So you and Rico now are both fans of the sound of the culture. Yeah. Now I've spoken many times to Rico. Now, how did yourself really sneakily support major acts, Goddy Goddy, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at these guys in the early 2000s dropping some tunes, you know. You know what I'm saying, you know. And I'm going, Grace Elegance. And I know I've seen your name long time ago, yeah? How did you dodge 2 bullets to start supporting these acts?
I tell you the honest truth, it's just a situation I got into, and it's just like me. It's the same situation that's happening now. I'm always in the background looking at stuff. So what happened is that with Stitchy, how I started working with Stitchy, there's a story behind all of it, but let's talk about Stitchy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I went to an event at KICC with King Arthur, and I was sitting on the front row, because I was actually managing King Arthur at the time as well. I didn't plan to go into this management thing, but something happened and I had to assist somebody out of a situation. And Goddy Goddy was one of the persons who I had to like steer him out of situation. And so he asked me if I can do some stuff. So I got involved in. It was actually through Rico that I met Goddy.
That's right.
No. It wasn't actually through Rico. I knew him before, but the connection came through Rico.
Okay.
So with Stitchy, I remember I was sitting on the front row at KICC, at a KICC event. And now Stitchy attended GC Foster College, and of course he's a qualified teacher. He's a qualified sports teacher, but he's actually multitasking. He's qualified in different areas. So my smaller sister, is Stitchy's classmate, and they're part of the same alumni. I look like my sister. The only difference between me and my sister is that I've got a gap in my teeth. They haven't got it. So most people would differentiate us by the space in the teeth. But Stitchy now, when he finished performing, he came and he sat beside me. And I saw him looking like... So and me and him our eyes were doing like this. And I started laughing and he said to me, no, he looked again and he looked around and I said to him, it's not her, I'm her sister. And he said, Paula? And I said, yeah. I said, Jesus, because I just sit down and me and wonder, Paula couldn't dare so. He said, Paula couldn't dare so. And then the rest is history. We just made that connection right there.
Yeah, man. Beautiful. No, that's good. You know, sis, you might feel that as insignificant, but somebody who's listening into this, you don't realize that sometimes we feel like things have to be some big official thing. Sometimes, you be good to somebody one day, or you're just good people around the place, you're good family, good. You know what I'm saying? It comes back on you, you know what I mean? And he said, if your sister was wicked to him, he'll be like, man, me not walk, you know what I mean? But like, it comes around, man. It comes around. That's funny still. But I remember King Arthur as well. King Arthur's a good artist as well still. Funny. Yeah, definitely. So, okay, so Stitchy now, guys, like, I'm going to let me put a picture of my connection to Stitchy. I'm coming to events that Rico's putting on. As much as I was a rap fan, I love the culture of getting loudspeakers up and just standing in front of me, hearing feeling the bass come through me, because I wasn't part of it. I never go over that, so it's good just to see the culture. And I remember going up to you remember where Another Level was, the cafe. Where Pastor Walden had, and then they're rinsing off his tune. This lieutenant says, "Onward, Christian soldiers, never hear of oh, your man's with this mashing up his tune, and everybody's excited because he's a Christian now and got a Christian album." I was like, "Who is Lieutenant Stitchy?" But the tune, it was getting rinsed, absolutely rinsed out there. So that's when I kind of first heard Stitchy on the scene. Was that album his only album, or and would you say that track is his breakout, like number one tune? You could play that whenever, because everybody seems to gravitate to this track. Always a big body of work with it.
I think the album. The album he did, the first album he did, was definitely a different contrast to what we know Stitchy.
Okay.
Like we said, Stitchy's more dancer.
Yeah.
So the tune in my bones. You get me?
Okay, yeah.
So when he done the album, it had a different sound.
Yeah.
But lyrically, him never changed the lyrical. Him just have talk about God. But the sound of it was more, I think the production was more to introduce it to the church then.
Okay.
But lyrically, he was still Stitchy, and him, start fire up the place. So it was a big thing. It was a real big thing for him, really. And for us, like coming from the dancehall with the Shekinah sound and that, it was a great boost for us to know that some of the general them are crossover, because this gave us more scope as well to do certain things which we ended up do.
Well, we'll get to that now. So Grace, I'm going up this timeline because I'm gonna tag in with you and Rico here. So when the album came out with Stitchy, was you listening in to the latest artists coming from Jamaica? Was you one of them people that said, "Listen, I'm getting the album straight away. I'm listening to the music"? Was you? Because some people got saved from that from a dancehall background and just said, "You know what, I can't listen to this." You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? I need to keep away. I need to listen to Fred Hammond. You know what I'm saying? I need to Hezekiah Walker and whatever. But was you always secretly getting them CDs through from these guys who were converting?
No, not really, because I just got into this management thing. I got into the management thing by default, really. And it was just that because I'm already here on the ground and I was trying to get them out of, get them, just help them along as they come along. So how I started getting the albums when they reached out to me to say, look here, we want our album to get out there. And so I started introducing it to the gospel DJs. So when they send me their album, I would send it on to certain DJs. But if you're a presenter and you're on the radio, I've got your message. So people would reach out to me as well to say, can you add me to your list?
Okay.
And so I would add them to the list, and when they send it to, I send it out. But then after a while, it wasn't my first business. So what I did, I speak to the people themselves, give them those numbers and said, those email addresses, and said, when you're sending to me, just send it on to these people.
Okay.
So I was like a contact person between artists and DJs. In terms of distributing their materials. So I was just a middle person, basically.
But that's not just, sis. That, I think that's a just because we make it a just. Yeah. And one thing I will say is the reason why there's been a lack of success in the UK when it comes to gospel music is because we've ignored the middleman. We ignored the power brokers. We ignore the people that have the time.
Definitely.
And the ability to organize themselves to put the people into the right places, to know when the artist needs to go. So, sis, you could know Roger. You said, listen, don't bother call Roger till 4 o'clock. Just that alone. Because of your now. Just that alone means that I can catch Roger. If I call Roger, he will answer. This is how serious it is, guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He says, listen.
You got it.
You know what I'm saying? So I am never, ever going to allow you to belittle your position when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? It's important that we have somebody who's because then you could say to them, do not go that way to that venue, because I know they will mess you about. They'll put the figures there, but they'll change the deal when you want to walk through and said, sorry, I am not going to deal with this. All I can do is give you this. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's important to have people to have this, and it's important for artists to understand they need this. Yeah. And at the same time, internationally as well, it's very good to hear that. I believe US rappers has flopped in the UK because its inability to respect. Because, you know, people could say that I could have done a similar role like that, but America's kept on wanting to deal directly with the promoters. And look at the scene now. Very few American US acts come over here, even though the scene is so big in America. It's very little, and I just want to big you up for that, and big up. I didn't realize the Caribbean artists were communicating to somebody like yourself over here, and getting King Arthur. That's a lot. Goddy Goddy, Prodigal Son, all these guys, you know. And as I said, I do not want to belittle your role, Tulsi. So.
Yeah, man.
To Grace Elegance, salute for you there still, because sometimes man need to organize himself, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Sorry, you can say something. Sis.
If you should contact an artist in Jamaica, whether I know him or not, because they know me, I don't know most of them.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But they would make inquiries, and if it's one of them that I know, they would say, I've got someone in England. Can you contact the person? But before they say that, they would call me, find a way to call me to say, this person contact me from UK. Do you know this person? If I don't know the person, I'd say, I don't know the person, but I could check it out for you.
Yeah, man.
If it's in Birmingham, I'm going to call a Rico. I'm going to call somebody else. Do you know this person? And based upon recommendation, I would say, yes, I know the person. The person goes to this church. And it's important that you know the background of promoters or people that are calling persons for an artist from Jamaica, so to speak. I think I need to say this. We're talking about Stitchy, but I need to say this. If an artist in Jamaica is contacted by someone in the UK, they are going to call me to say, do you know this person? It is important that that person has a background, that person is coming. If you're putting on a gospel event, we want to know what's your background. Are you coming from secular? Are you a secular DJ, promoter. A secular promoter putting on a gospel event? What's your connection with the church? Because most of the time, they don't have a connection with the church. And they would say to the artist, say, for instance, the artist fee might be £300, so to speak, and they demand a 50% deposit. They're going to give them the 50% deposit. But what they didn't tell the artist is, oh, the show didn't sell, so we're not going to give you 150. They don't honor contracts. And a lot of times the artists would come and they don't have anywhere to stay of reasonable. They would maybe catch them up in somebody's back room or put them here or put them there. They're bouncing about and all of that. No, I became the middle person, so I stopped all of that. So before the artists get here, They would call me to say, this person contact me, can you do my logistics? I'm going to now get in touch with those persons.
Come on now.
And because I'm now representing the artist. So I'm going to make sure that all logistics are in place. Their accommodation, their visa application is done in time. Per them, whatever arrangement the artist, whatever
The agreement.
content is in the artist rider, I'm going to make sure that that happens. I'm the one sometimes who will pick them up at the airport, take them to their hotel, make sure that everything is in place. And I'm going to make sure that the artist delivers on what he promised. So you're not just paying the artist to come. I'm making sure that the artist delivers. And I'm going to make sure that he leave the country as well. When he's supposed to leave the country. So there are some people who don't want to speak to me. They don't want to speak to me. They want to go directly to the artist. Because when the artists come, leave themselves vulnerable to them, they can get treated anyway.
Of course.
Sis, you're a fixer. Yeah, 100% fixer.
Yeah,
Me, you know, say some Ray Donovan flex, you know, come in there and fix man up, you know. No, and it's needed.
Of course, it's needed.
That means when I do my things in the future, and I include a Reggae, Jamaican artist, I better make sure I pass the elegance test. You know, the one there.
I know for artists, you know, funny enough, you know, there was a promoter that was promoting gospel artists, and trust me, a bag of madness to go on. Enough of them.
Yes, I know about that one.
Yeah, we even call no name, but trust me, bag of madness.
And I think that period of a lot of guys, you know, when they look at shows, Rico, they look at the things like what we did, and I think it's easy. So they jump on this bandwagon because God said or whatever they did. They see a load of people, and I think it's easy. And when you realize that no one's buying a ticket to the day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I say you don't understand cash flow. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand about relationships within music and so on. You know what I'm saying? We sometimes we make it look too easy. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is when you're coming from out of town and no one's there to look after you. It's a scary, man. It's scary, man.
That's how I got in it by default.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's a good. It's good.
You know, when we're at the show, when we're at the show, them time there. You get me, car. When we bring Stitchy, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. We'll get to Stitching.
It's important, Grace. You get me? That the artist knows when he comes here that he's got somewhere to put his head. You get me? You can't just think about put him on a show and you don't even start out where he's gonna sleep,
and eat. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Man have pure cucumber sandwich and he's like, this boy, we need some chicken, you know? You know what I'm saying? You know?
Them thing on the right, Virgin.
But we're talking about events now. So this is my perspective of Stitchy now, again. So I'm going into another level, hearing this kind of sound, rinse off his arm work, Grace, just, and it's what Rico said, Grace, which was interesting, that it didn't come with his hardcore dancehall sounds, which I felt like Papa San was more closer to that when he first came out. But one thing I realized, he was more, and I don't want to use it in a wrong sense, churchy in his sound. You know what I'm saying? He knew that the church couldn't handle that hardcore dancehall. But the thing is, his lyrical delivery was still traditional sound.
100%.
But then I noticed that the churches in that period, from especially between 2005 and after 2010, he was coming over here for joke.
Yeah, man. It was on fire.
The churches brought him more over from Papa San with any other artist. Stitchy. Now, guys, you know I'm a rap guy, so I'm not here as a fan, but I'm an observer of the scene. And as an observer of the scene, guarantee, man, if new conventions going on, there ain't no Stitchy. There's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whenever certain conventions were going on, Stitchy, it wasn't Papa San. It wasn't King Arthur. It wasn't Goddy Goddy. It wasn't Prodigal Son. It was Stitchy was the first reggae artist to really be comfortable stages at a church that was rejectful of Shekinah, was rejectful of Caribbean music, their own culture. You know what I'm saying? He's now turned around and bringing one of the biggest stars ever in dancehall onto their pulpits to preach to them. You know what I'm saying? So I just saw him going to do church shows, yeah, and also Rico did it, a couple of shows. But just going to Grace, when he was doing a lot of these events, his church events and so on, that he was doing. Do you feel that at the time he was literally like the number one dancehall artist coming to the UK?
He was. I think he was, and Papa San. He and Papa San was because Papa San was. I think Stitchy was easier reached than Papa San. I think what it was, Stitchy had a different. I think he had a different calling to Papa San. Say, for instance, I think Papa San was called to the church. Stitchy was called to the world. If that makes sense. So Stitchy's when Stitchy got saved, remember, this is how I can put it in my own words, right? When Stitchy got saved, remember Stitchy was out there as an influencer on the dancehall stage. And a lot of people gravitate to his lyrics and his style of entertainment, so to speak. So when he became a Christian, Stitchy, and this is based upon conversation that I've had with Stitchy.
Of course.
When Stitchy became a Christian, he said, sis, word for word, he said, sis, let me tell you something. If me can out there, and I can only put it in his own words so that I can explain it. If I can out there conforming the audience and God call me, I can't leave them conform. I have to go back to the stage and transform them. Because there's a difference between conform and transform. The Bible speaks about confirmation and transformation.
Come on.
So he had to go back, change up the lyrics, and come with a godly lyric and go right back to the stages, right back to the dancehall people them. And he didn't even just leave them and go full up.
Yeah, man. Into
That's
church.
all right.
Real time.
Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely.
This education
Well said,
sis.
well said,
No.
well
sis.
said, Grace.
I think, Grace, I'm learning just from what you're saying. I'm learning a lot about the mind of Lieutenant Stitchy because we're looking at a generation now that you can see all about acts because we put so much on social media.
Yeah.
You're talking about Stitchy is in a time where all you know of Stitchy is through his record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And through flyers.
True.
So this is why it's important for us to talk and discuss this.
Right.
This is Stitchy.
So the church feels like the modern church or the older, not the modern, the older church. They feel as if he's a Christian, but he's still gone to the dance hall. Some say he hasn't got a church. Some say he doesn't, but he went back to the dance hall. And he actually, you would find Stitchy sitting down with a lot of people. And he would sit down and I know he helped a lot of people as well. A lot of people, their career is actually tied up in Stitchy because he actually brought a lot of people to the stage. He actually took them abroad with them. And he was actually, I know of people when Stitchy is doing tour, people would be sick on the tour bus and Stitchy would be praying for them. He would be backstage praying. He would be talking to people. He's got his loyal fans, regardless of whatever is going on out there. The talks out there. He's got his loyal fans. He's got people who really love him. And he knew what he was about. He was about spreading the gospel, not in the church, because in his own concept is church people is already saved. There are people out there that needs to be saved. The people who come to the dance hall and come to the stages, he feel like he needs to put a word out there to them. And that was his thing, really, to just go out there and just do his thing. People may look at it like, he gets saved, but he's not in the church. He's still out there doing dancehall. That was just his thing. So I personally do not believe, and this is my personal opinion, I do not believe that if Beanie Man, so to speak, if Beanie Man should ever become a Christian, which I hope, if he should ever become a Christian, I would not love to see Beanie Man sitting inside church singing Christian songs. I wouldn't want to see Beanie Man doing that. I would love to see Beanie Man going back out there on stage and trying to transform.
Come on now.
Yeah. People.
His audience.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, transform his people. Because I believe God would have called him for that purpose. Because he's already captured the audience. He's already got that fan base. So why not go back and get them? You can't just leave them and go in the church. Go back and get them.
I like that. I like, you know what, sis? You really be teaching me here, because it's like, when what's hitting my mind when you're talking, God has given you a gift, and in the gift you can utilize it for good or evil. Effectively. And effectively, these guys have this gift. Listen, guys, there's no matter what, very few people. You know how these guys chat like, they chat like, and they're chatting lyrics like that. Still, you're shooting. You know, you want to do that on the stage, and they do it like it's easy. You know, that gift and talent and that captivating spirit. Yeah, that, you know, to coming to church and just said, okay, I'm knocking it all off now. I'm going to hold back the talents that God has given me. Yeah. And we don't use the scripture of talents enough you know what I'm saying, in church anymore, because it's like, we're going to bury that talent that was so effectively used by the enemy. You know what I'm saying? You're like going, hold on a second. So if I sort myself out, freshen up, have the right mentors around me so we can keep in God, you know what I'm saying, work the business correctly, and let me use this talent, which was used for evil. You know what I'm saying? Putting out lyrics that were anti-God. Let me flip this, because I understand God now, the context of God I've learned. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful, because sometimes a lot of artists conflict over when they come over. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Oh, do I go back? That's evil. That's these.
I think without knocking her, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Marion Hall, you know what I mean, is one of them, because
she get
listen, man, listen to me, man, listen to me. You know that you know, when you understand about, and I'm sure Grace will agree, when you're talking about command the dancehall, you know, she had the women them lock simple.
Yeah,
and,
I believe she, of all person, I believe Marian Hall should have gone back to the stage.
100%.
I believe she should have gone back to the stage. Coming into the church, sitting down. Yes, I okay, with Marian Hall, I believe that once she became a Christian, because you can't just come to Christianity and then it's a different world and you have to understand it. I do believe that she did sit down, she did go to church, come in the church, and she did actually study the word and all of that. And she was being mentored by her pastors and those who she had around her. She was being mentored. But I believe when she came inside the church to do preaching and all of that, even going on social media, I think she should have. I think she should have sit down a bit longer to study the word. But I think she also, she also should have hit the secular stage.
That was her call.
I think she should have gone back to the secular stage.
That was her call. Wow. Remember, you know, when you're looking at Moses,
I don't think she should hit the church stage. Because and the reason why I say that, for where Marian Hall is coming from, a lot of people, you know, was wearing the batty riders, so to speak. I don't know if there's another word for it. They're so annoyed.
Tight shots. Yeah.
Tight shots. Sorry.
It's like,
I'm just being real. I'm just being real.
This is the age, man. We will here. Go. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, but
right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. Well, that was her stage appearance, and a lot of people was actually, you could tell Marian, you could tell Ladies as people, you could tell them, because they're all gonna be dressed looking the same, singing the same lyrics and all of that.
Sure.
So if she became a Christian and then she started wearing long dresses and she started clothing herself differently, the natural hair, no more wig and all the things, then you leave those people in a mess. So I think you need to go back.
Come on.
And undo what Lady Saw did. I think Marian Hall should have hit the stage to undo what Lady Saw did.
Yeah, I agree.
Because she would still have those fans. She would still have those people. There would be no sign of disrespect because she still have her fan. They still love her.
They would love her
And
same
if
way,
she
man.
can actually get saved and do it,
True.
we can do it too. So I think even when she made a decision the other day to go back to the stage, a lot of people think, oh, Lady Saw, she's not going to be Christian again. She's going to hit. That was like folly. She just need to get, just put her mind where the Bible is, where she want, where God wants her to be, and go back, because I think God would have called her for the world. Go out into the world and preach the gospel. What more world you want than that big stage thing? Those stages that you used to be on. Yeah, I think she should go back there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm getting taught here today, people. I'm learning, man. I appreciate that.
What Grace is saying, is not a strange thing, because when you look at Moses, right? Moses grew up in Egypt, which from the biblical perspective is the world. Yeah. And it run by Pharaoh. Yeah, man. You get me?
But he prepped him.
When he got banished from the world and went into the desert. Yeah. What God do know? God used the same man, to go back where? To the same place where he come from.
To the same place, He ran away from Egypt, but God sent him back there.
But him sent him right back in there. And, I get me work up.
And listen this. One moment. Listen this.
A long time we are talking this.
God is not going to send you where he won't equip you. He's not going to send you where he won't equip you, because and the reason, if you notice, I said when she became a Christian, if she had went to the church, she studied.
Yes.
So he would have equipped her. He would have equipped her to go back out into the world to preach the gospel. Come on now. Remember Jonah was running, and when Jonah ended up in the belly of the fish, he had to go. He had to go because God equipped him to go. He went. Some of us, we run away from things. I don't think becoming a Christian and going in the church is like you're hiding, really, because I don't think the pastor is going to send you out there, really. But you have to know within yourself that God has called you for this. Unless it's a case where God hasn't called her, I don't know. I'm not going to say, I don't know.
But you're raising, and the thing is, it's like, it sometimes in Christianity, we do kind of like say to people, convert, you're saved now, don't worry about back where you come from.
I think that's what it comes down to.
People, we got a couple of people that know you, you can come around and preach and we'll be nice with it, and I think that and going back to Stitchy now, he was a trailblazer in terms of he just come in, get saved, couple years later, back, coming out with tune and stuff. Now, Grace, we spoke about the churches. We spoke briefly about the churches. Now, one thing I do know about Lieutenant Stitchy, now I've been to a number of events which Rico has hosted in Birmingham, but I know one of them, I've seen, oh my gosh, Junior Tucker, you know what I'm saying? I've seen, and I remember back in the day where Gideon Promotions, they bought over Papa San, you know what I'm saying, all his business, but that was more like a church show. Church show. It wasn't like the show, but then Lieutenant Stitchy, that was a bit of a significant type of event because Stitchy kind of suited what you were doing in terms of, you said, okay, let's do something for the church, but also do something for the man. So let's explain, Rico, just what when this was and what the event was about.
Well, with what Grace is saying, that's why I said it's really a blessing, because when I got the unction to put on the event with Stitchy, I didn't know Stitchy like that. You get me? I said that's the first thing I have to know. I don't know Stitchy like that, but I Stitchy the Lord say had a man for call. Okay. So the event that God had put on my heart was love and unity in the community, because what was happening in Birmingham, right? The gun thing did a bark, Virgin. Yes. It was not like no joke thing. Man, I dead every day. And the gang warfare between the Burgers and the Johnnies was real. It was no joke thing. You understand? Yeah. So what had happened now is like, I had it on my heart. Something just beat on my heart. Said, well, God want to talk to some people. So he gave me the idea. But the idea was so outrageous that I had to really step back and really find out if I may talk to myself.
Okay.
You understand me? No, really. Because sometimes, and I'm sure Grace will understand, when you're moving, right, God will put you in uncomfortable situations, and it takes faith to push past that. You understand me? 'Cause I'm not talking about no normal things, never been done. That's the first thing. So when he said love injection, you have to understand now, love injection is like one of the biggest circular sound them time there. You know? But he said, Rico, it's not the sound I want are the people that follow the sound. I want to talk to them.
Yes.
That's what he said to me. So I said, okay. So I said, okay, God. So I went to the record shop. Winston will be a witness. Anytime you see him, I asked him if he's like, I go to the record shop. He said, Winston, the Lord tell me to tell you, say, him want me book you on a show. And me not charge, right? 'Cause it's a show for the people. You understand me? But he wants your sound. Not the sound as in your sound, the people that follow your sound and want to talk to them. So Winston Winston, you know. Can we know Winston, you know? Winston look at me like, in all his career, no Christian ever asked him to do no Christian show. So he's like puzzled, like, what? So I said, no, listen, I'm serious. He said, all right, Rico, give me a couple of days, let me think about it. I said, no problem. I'm going to left it at that. 2 days after, unfortunately, the girls, Letitia and the other sister, man, they got murdered by some gang, you know, like drive-by, they got shot, and the whole of Birmingham was swarming with press, and it was like it was the biggest atrocity ever in at that time. It really
men's to men, we had all that, and they came down and they came down to do some interviews and stuff.
The press was all over it and all that. So when I went back and seen Winston, it's like Winston, I look upon me like him say ghost. Him say, "Oh, Rico, you didn't know so this I go on." I said, "No, bud, man." But God must have did know. Cause him know so me ask him to do this thing before this happened. So him said to me, "Rico, no problem." So I said, all right then, Jay. So I had Shekinah, Love Injection, Parklands, and now I just need to get Stitchy. But I don't know if I find Stitchy, Grace. So anyway, I'm going to go through boom, 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 and then when me phone Stitchy, ask him. Obviously, we can't talk to him anymore because he's ill. Yeah. But Stitchy say, yo, how old is? I say, Rico, England. Him say, where you get my number? That was the first thing he said, you know. I said, Bridget, and the Lord find a way to get it, you know. Yeah. And then me show him the vision. Yeah. But part of me, I say, remember, I don't know the man, you know. He's going to say, nah, Bridget, I can't answer that. So when I showed him the vision, what God showing me, the man say, yo, you don't watch nothing, Bridget, may I come? And I went, wow. So when I went back, I was at Pastor Lugo's church, and I went there and I shared the vision. And the man, them, gave me a donation towards it. So I knew that I was, when your vision now, you're in it neck deep. There's no going back. There's no going back. So the faith now was like, okay, God, I'm going against the grain of what we know traditionally, but I'm going to follow you. Whatever's going on, I'm trusting you. We went through, let me tell you something. When Stitchy come in, Stitchy went on Central News, Stitchy said, Rico, from all the time I come to England as a circular artist, me never go up on the news. But I was so focused on the dance that I didn't even go with him. I just made one of the brothers go with him. Went on Central News. They talked about this love and unity in the community. Wow. But here's the thing, though, right? When this is why I want the circular man to want to listen to this. I want my church brother them listen to this. When we did the show now, remember, there's no money. The Lord said, don't put a penny upon it, right? It's more talk to the people. So when they heard that Stitch is coming now, a man's thinking, go ahead, Stitchy now come. Cause everybody knows a Stitchy icon,
Yeah.
So when them say Stitchy really there, believe me, Bobby, anyway, them brother, cause, Bobby was the one who kind of helped me with it because, I'm a Ras friend that's it. Cause I'm telling Bobby, right, here this is no Grace. I'm telling Bobby, say, yo, I'm not charging. So Bobby are telling me, say, yo, Rico, you have to do ticket. So I'm getting kind of upset with him. I say, Bobby, you know what I say? I'm not charging. I don't need no ticket. He said, no, Rico, listen to me, man. If you keep the event and you don't have a ticket monitoring system, suppose 3,000 people come at the venue. Oh, you're going to manage that? And it's like the penny drop. Me say, you're right. I never see it like that, Bobby. Yeah. So I'm just trying to show you, even man who ain't in church, God uses it to bring about his vision. So anyway, we do everything. Stitchy come anywhere. Stitchy's on stage, injections in there. The players ram. And and Stitchy let off in there. When me say that was his environment. Come remember him know Winston, you know.
Yeah.
When Winston go for cut dub for him, so you know, a Stitchy yard him stop you. So him and Stitchy are virgin, but he seen Stitchy in a different light. Stitchy spit the gospel now and rap. And he must say, yo, Winston, I can tell you, Christ, and he talk to Winston. He was real with the thing.
Wow.
But the ghetto man, them loved him because he was still talking his talk.
Yeah.
But they could see that, boy, he might talk God.
Yeah, man.
Wait.
Same accent.
Yeah,
same
man.
accent, same delivery, just lyrically different.
Listen, man, and Shekinah, that was like, me can't talk it. I tell you, sir, Shekinah, was on with tear down. God just come, arrest the place. God, no pastors in the palm case, we got Holy Ghost guy in there, the smoking, and they had all their reasons to believe that. But I said to them, listen to me. I said, with all respect, if man had told me to do it, with your convincing argument, as a young Christian, I probably would have just say, all right, chop, I go cancel it.
Yeah.
But I said, no man never tell me for do this. So the only person can tell me if I not do this is the man who tell me, and God telling me for do this. Let me tell you something, Grace. When the dance done, them same pastors, the first man's on my phone, congratulations, Rico, I've heard. Because, you ask for claimer, a 1,000 Bible we give it the night there, Rasta, Ballad, Jericho, the whole of them, Rico, you have a Bible there. Yeah, man, we can get one for my daughter. I was so blessed. And I said, you know what, God? And then from that, Sting FM and all of them radio stations, because no gospel never play at Birmingham, but none of the pirate stations, You see, after that dance went on repeat, because Injection recorded it digitally, and it went on repeat on Sting the whole week. So even people that never come on the dance, hear the dance, And from then to this day, gospel now is played on the circulars stations. Why? Because of obedience. So what my show, man, is, and I've always said this, that God is respect of no persons. He ain't interested in the environment. The environment don't change God. Just because you're in a dancehall setting doesn't change God from being God.
Yeah.
It can't, because if that was the case, he couldn't come into the world. Because the world wicked and sinful.
Yeah.
But holy God, the angels say, holy, holy, all God Almighty, stepped from heaven into earth. So that tell me straight from the saying, Jesus, what? Harlots, tax collector, thief and robber, holiest, the holy of holies. But religious people, they had a problem with him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, to this day, religious people still have a problem with people like ourselves who have been called to go back on the road and let the light of God shine in their dark world. Yeah. Because unless you're in their world, how would I go see the light?
Come on now.
Simple. Me not smoke weed.
Yeah.
Me not run down a girl like how me used to. You understand me?
Yeah.
Me change. But I still can be out there and be effective for my Lord. Simple.
And guys, I don't. It's just what Rico said at the beginning. Listen, guys, I've called a lot of artists who are not even from Birmingham, even Birmingham artists. For an artist to respect your vision,
come on,
is not easy. People.
Come on,
yeah. And for an iconic artist to actually go, I will come over and support you in this, and understand
the vision.
That your vision, and to think, okay, I'm not from Birmingham, I'm saying, but I'm gonna work with my cousins over there, so in this country, and not deal with a big town like London, but Birmingham itself, come to the second city and go, yo, I want to come over here and do a dance, which I know is going to be not ticketed like big money price thing there. So you know what I mean? Whatever. So it wasn't about the money. It was about the community.
It was about the community.
And it shows you, actually shows you the heart of Stitchy in one sense, but it didn't follow the stage. Yo, set me up a stage, I'm going to pay for this and whatever this. So it's amazing that, and salute to Stitchy for being open to somebody that he doesn't know.
But look at the blessing though, Roger. He got to go on Central TV. He then would remember, after we done the circular one, we did the church one the next day. You get me? And X amount of people gave their life. And then Newty booked him for their youth national convention, You know what I mean? That was his first into that.
Wow. So that really broke.
Just from obedience, and that just broke him in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We give God thanks, man.
So that was an important stage of just that relation. So Okay, right. Because I know time's going. It's great. Just touching base with some of the foundational stuff of Lieutenant Stitchy. Absolutely 100% fantastic, guys. But, right. So, obviously, we saw in 2024, again, this is the social media age that you'll get shots of a very sick-looking Stitchy on stage.
Canada.
Yeah, in Canada, was it? Yeah. I saw that news, and then never really hear much afterwards and whatsoever.
No, that's very true.
And the first time I see anything was a fly going around Lieutenant Stitchy Road to Recovery. Now I'm going, yo, this was a year ago and whatsoever. So when I'm hearing a couple of the reports, now I'm going, oh, so okay, what's happening and what's going on here? Because it's like, for me, it's going, hold on a second, this didn't happen last year. So why are we talking about it now? But there's reasons for why we're talking about it now. And so, Grace, please explain to me, why are we, because for me, the next day you're doing your GoFundMes and doing all that business and whatever. But a year later, what situation is changing? What is Lieutenant Stitchy? Where is he in his health? Is his situation? Is he communicating? Is he, please explain to us, where we at with this situation and why it's important for us to get on this and support this.
Right. So what happened now is last year on the 15th of August, he had a surgery done because he had a bleeding on the brain.
Ooh.
When he had the surgery, he became brain dead, and he was like, it wasn't kind of a coma. It was more like he was brain dead. He wasn't responding. Nothing was coming from him. The doctors told the family that they would give him 30 days to turn the machine off, because usually people who go through that kind of surgery and become brain dead, they didn't normally come back from it. So they were, the doctors anticipated he wouldn't get through it. But if he passes 30 days, they would turn the machine off. He came back from it within 21 to 25 days. And so they didn't turn the machine off. They kept him on until they took him off the machine. Where he's at now, he's still not speaking, he's not walking, but he's moving, his mobility is being maintained.
Wow.
And he's at a place now where he's now sitting up into a wheelchair. He can hear people when they speak. He recognizes voices, and he would turn, once he recognized the person, he will turn his head and he would acknowledge with his eyes. And if they speak to him and he understands what they're saying, he will squeeze their hand. Where he wasn't sitting up, he's now sitting up in a wheelchair. And if he's find himself falling over, he would use his elbow to brace himself up. So that's a vast improvement, and that comes with therapy, physiotherapy, and everything to get him back on track. However, he's made a lot of improvement since a year ago, but he's nowhere near where he needs to be. And so in order to get him up and going, they need something like a tilt, they need a tilt table. A tilt table is one of those kind of a bed, but it's got different functions where they can strap him onto it, tilt him up, put him in an upright position. And the aim for this is to get the brain connecting with the rest of his body. So we are trying to get this tilt bed, which is not available in Jamaica. Apart from that, in order to keep him in that facility for over a year, it would cost, the aim for collecting fund was over 1,000. They were looking for 100,000 US. They haven't yet gotten 100,000 US. And to have him in that facility for more than a year, they would have gone past maybe 200,000 US by now. So, and it's costing for physiotherapy, speech therapist, and accommodation and everything. So, because the money that they got from the GoFundMe and his insurance, there are stuff that his insurance can no longer cover. And so we are putting on these fundraising events to assist the family with his rehabilitation and to buy the equipment that he needs for rehabilitation.
Okay.
So basically, he's made great improvement because he's still with us. He's communicating, not verbally, but, with his eyes and all of that. He's hearing, he's sitting up, he's doing stuff, even though he's being supported. And we just need the necessary equipment to actually get him on the road to recovery, which is why we dubbed the event his Road to Recovery.
Wow. No. What I was gonna say, man, you understand the situation now. You know what I mean? And I think, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation, people, to find out. It's okay seeing the flyer, but to really hear what is actually going on is important. We want to support a guy who supported Birmingham, who came over to Birmingham to actually communicate to our cousins, our relatives, our blood, our friends, who weren't in Christ. Yeah, he sacrificed to come over here to do that. So, listening to these stories, guys, I pray that you kind of get the context, and even if you can't come to the event, I'm sure you can call and make a donation to anything out there. So, because sometimes I do appreciate I've got busy lives, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
That you can donate to this event, 100%. And if somebody who's in the listen, I know how you medical people operate. Yeah, I know sometimes you have one of these chairs floating around, and and we take for granted sometimes our excess. We're spoiled for our excess, and we go, "You mean one of these? Oh, this is last year's edition, and we just dashed them away. Okay, tell you what, let's send this to Jamaica. What's it? You know what I'm saying? And it sounds so ironic. Us in this community, the Western community, we throw so much away. You know what I'm saying? And don't realize how useful it is. Full stop. So anybody who's listening, who's in the medical world, even when it comes to companies as well, but sell to companies, and you're listening to this conversation, please, do contact Grace Elegance and talk. Talk what needs to happen and how we can help out. Now, I'm looking at this event in front of me, guys. And again, let me go back to now. I would say you guys are better announcers than me. Yeah. So Rico announced the event properly. When I announced it, I know what come across. So Rico, take it from the top. Explain the Birmingham event. Grace, you can bring in about the live down in London. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the event is obviously called Lieutenant Stitchie. You've heard about the state that he's in. And obviously, you also have heard the love that he's had for, especially Birmingham. He's done a lot of work here in the city. And we're appealing, to the good nature of my church brother them and my circle of friend them same way. You understand? That you come, if you can't come, at least donate something so that we can help the brother and his family them who have this, it's a massive bill. Because you have to understand, when you're terminally ill like that, it's a current bill that's coming all the time. You understand me? So even though you might have
especially in Jamaica.
Anybody know Jamaica? No, so Jamaica not easy when it comes to them thing. So that's what I'm saying. Let us, support our fellow man. In whichever way we can. The little what we can do goes a long way. So anyway, the date is the 7th of November. And it's going to be down at what we call it, the famous church on the hill, right up on the block. We're down at Lazarus, which is George Street, New Testament Church of God. Okay. And the time for the event is 6 o'clock. Doors open. And who's on the bill? All right, we have Sister P, Sean Diamond, Mackenzie, Sister Angie, singing D, sing like a canary, Annette B, you don't know, so she don't easy, Lighty, I'm calling Mighty Paul now, okay.
Oh, is that okay. Mighty,
and special guests. Music by the one and only original Christian sound, you don't know, Shekinah with Miller, Spanner and the full crew. Hosting this event, who are that? But the Pope himself.
Yeah, man. The British born Jamaican, the one that's
the real poet, Yeah, man. Brother Keith, you know what I mean? Entry fee, scan the QR code, is £10, and I believe there's going to be more at the door. All the money, all the proceedings will go to the family. You know what I mean, to make sure that Stitchy, you know, is comfortable where he is. They don't have to throw him out. You have to understand the seriousness, you know. You know what I mean? If you don't pay the bill, like you have your rent, you know, pay to happen, them throw you out. So we don't want them throw out Stitchy. You understand me? We want Stitchy can stay there till he's well enough to walk out of there. You understand me? So your little will go a long way. Come, if you can, support the event. It's going to be a great night. God bless you.
Yeah, man. Okay, Sister Grace, can you just tell us some more about, there's so a few more events going on before it as well, yeah? So if you tell us what's happening down London town.
Right. So for London, we try to keep it how Stitchy would have had it. So for London, we reached out, we made it into a community event. Birmingham was supposed to be that kind of community event as well, but we've reached out to Stitch's friends in music, the DJs, and David Rodigan has actually come on board to support. We have DJ Countryman from up here in Birmingham, and of course we've got DJ Proclaimer, we've got Brother Charles, we've got DJ Gospel Kid. Oh, the flyer is here, sorry. So we've got all these guys. That's not happening.
We'll
right, so we've got David Rodigan, Lighty Mighty Powell, DJ Gospel Kid, DJ Proclaimer, Twiggy lives in America. She's flying over for it as well to support. Wow. Joshua Kesler, Brother Charles, DJ Lady Banton, and MC. It's going to be hosted by Bobo El Numero Uno. Now, there are persons who are saying, why is it that we're having secular people on that bill? Why is it not in the church? Why is it not Christian? This is not a Christian event. It is not a secular event. It is a Stitchy event. It's something to support Stitchy, and all the people on this bill are people who have worked with Stitchy, have a relationship with Stitchy, and they want to support Stitchy. They are friends of Stitchy. Right. And some of them are also friends of mine as well who've come on board to support. Hence, we dubbed it, it's Lieutenant Stitchy Road to Recovery Fundraiser, and it's going to be a fish fry Friday. Why fish fry? Because we want people to come out early. We want people to leave from work and come straight to the venue and actually get their food, their fish, whatever it is we're going to be having on the menu. And then we go straight into an after-work jam. And that's going to be at the Zoroastrian Center, 40 to 442 Alexander Avenue, Rayners Lane in Harrow, Middlesex. HA29TL, and that's £20. Booking it online via Eventbrite, it's £20, and if you choose to pay at the door, it's £25 on the door. And food is on sale, and it starts at doors open at 6 o'clock, and we go up until 11 p.m.
Sweet. Grace, I just really appreciate your sensitivity, and sometimes, you know, again, you're clear about you care about the people that you've worked with and supported over the years, because I know a lot of people would just say, okay, it's a shame, and let's carry on moving. Yeah. So for you to actually take time out and doing it and to help facilitate this alongside a number of people, I again salute yourself. For not only being somebody who's helped support these guys over the years, but actually gone back and helped them in their time of need. So again, I will publicly say that, you know, because a lot of times people don't really publicly talk to the people behind the scenes. But I have to publicly salute you for that, and that's just genuine and my heartfelt for that. I have to say that. And guys, you know, and even if you listen to this video in a year's time or in a couple months' time, because I know how YouTube stays, guys, please have a look at the links and information. And if you can still support and communicate what's going on, and you need to support at any time, you can send the money over. You can communicate to Grace, who's obviously got the connections over with the West Indies, and actually see how you can support her. Once again, I believe we know you can support by giving some money and whatsoever, but also we do appeal to professionals in this area that do know the support that's needed, and actually if you can get specialized equipment and help over to Jamaica right now, that'd be absolutely amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's about time we go back to our home countries and support them by getting their facilities. And we spend so much time building the NHS in the UK. It's amazing how we got nothing back in our own health system in Jamaica. Sure. With such great nurses and doctors, you know what I mean? And it's amazing how we still need to sort out back home. But listen, Grace, it's been an honor actually, having this conversation with yourself. Rico, again, thanks again for doing this. And guys, this, Roger, this is the Edge show. This is my style. I do understand there's always a story behind every flyer. And I love getting the story out of it. And you guys have really brought a third dimension to my knowledge of Stitchy, rather than just an artist that got saved, did some church tunes, did some new tea conventions. It sounds like a guy a lot more serious than what I actually thought. You know what I mean? And I was coming up in the urban scene, and I didn't realize what he did do, and you know what I'm saying, and what he still has musically out there transforming people.
Yeah, man. His legacy is massive. His legacy is massive, man. He's sold a lot, and that's why, when Grace asked us to come on board, to support it, it was a no-brainer.
No-brainer, of course.
Because I know, he's that's his heart. You get me? And we're gonna do what we can do. So make sure to come out. Make sure to support.
Yes, Grace. Any final word from you, sister?
Yes, there are a few people I would like to acknowledge, just to say I'm not on my own here.
Cool, that's
so. First of all, for the Birmingham event, I like to acknowledge Bishop Reuben King, Grant Lee, and Rico, who have, and also Countryman, who have actually started the journey with me to get this off the ground, and that's for Birmingham. In London, I wish to acknowledge Shined, is Franklin Miles, or rather Shined, who's a promoter in London, and DJ Brother Charles, and DJ Brother Charles, the Gleaner Company, George Ruddock from the Gleaner Company, who actually is putting it out in the Gleaner at the moment. It comes out every week. Brilliant. And from Gloucester, there was an event that took place in Gloucester, and hats off to Bishop George Beeson.
Okay.
And Bishop George Beeson and his team over there. I can't remember everybody's name, but that event was held at the All Nations Club. It was Albert Gardner who actually runs that club there. So these people all came on board, and at no extra cost. When I finished the Gloucester event, I asked, is there any bill outstanding? They said no. So I didn't put any money into it. I just got myself there. They organized everything. And we were able to use that to balance back on London. And I just want to acknowledge these people. So, just to say a big thank you, especially to Grantley, who had actually put this Birmingham event together. And then Rico is now running with it. Thank you so much, Rico.
No problem.
And may God bless you. And I wish us loads of success on the Birmingham event. So people, I'm inviting you, please come out, support. We need you. Yeah, you can't let us put the work in and you not support. We are putting the work in, and we are actually putting a very good program together that you will enjoy, and you will see where your money is going. We will keep you updated with continuous updates on how Stitchy is doing, and we will actually be sending out bulletins to keep you informed and on his progress, basically.
Great. Thank you so much, sis.
No problem,
guys, thank you for your time. This is a nice, strong interview, man. Pure clips are going to be going out. We'll be celebrating. We'll be there as well. Affinity Xtra, capturing the event, capturing the moment, and even having the context of all this now. We're going to have a beautiful time, and you know what I mean? And hopefully this is definitely educating for the youngsters coming through as well. And to the parents, you know where you come from, you know where God saved you from, you know what I'm saying? And the words of a man like Lieutenant Stitchy help to keep people, you know what I mean, coming to Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? When you just got saved and you hear them tunes, you know what I mean? Onward Christian soldiers, you know what I mean? And you're thinking, boy, yeah, man, and the lyric drop, man. Listen, man, definitely fantastic, guys. I know we wanted to play some tunes, but I feel like the conversation has been healthy, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I think that definitely, if you put Lieutenant Stitchy in Spotify or something, you get some tunes up, man. Definitely we'll get some tunes. And also, guys, buy the music. I believe that by still artists, still a legacy of music, listen to the music, it still goes back to the artist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So guys, sometimes by support, maybe just, again, if you're in Iceland, if you're somewhere you can't come over to here, play the music. Use the subscription, get build up his Spotify, share his music. More people get back on his music. You know what I'm saying? It boosts him as well. You know what I'm saying? So we encourage people to play a Papa San tonight. You know what I mean? Share it on your network. Share it as something in your social media. Get the youngsters go, boy, and then remixes will come and everything like that, Rico's thinking here, you know what I'm saying? I know Rico's thinking some ideas here. But listen, guys, thank you so much. This is Roger and Affinity Xtra, celebrating gospel musical Black origin. And I'm here with an amazing conversation alongside Grace Elegance and Rico. You know what I'm saying? Thanks again for listening in. And please, guys, go out support, because we just talked about an amazing guy called Stitchy. Lieutenant Stitchy, that is.
Yeah.
Hey, this is your bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta, and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of Black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.